Good evening, I'm Sean Green. This is Sports Night. The West Indies have swept Afghanistan in their T20 series, winning all three. They won the third and the final game last night at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Now, the visitors chose to bat first after winning the toss. They made 146 for 6 in their 20 overs. Ahmad Nabeed, he top scored with 38, while Keswick Williams was the best bowler, taking 3 for 34.
That's gone high and it's gone far. That's gone for 6. An early 6 there for the Afghan team. It's a loud shot for LBW and he's given him.
That's beautifully played off his legs.
They were going at a good rate the first 2 matches, but then they fell away after the first 7 overs. That's a good hit, a solid shot into the crowd for 6.
Bowled him. Premeditated and walked right across his stumps.
Spoke too early. Definitely spoke too early.
He's got that straight and think we're going to be in trouble. Just clears us, it's gone for 6. He's carved that. 4 runs. That's gone. Out of the ground. That's a big 6. He's pulled that and he's out caught.
Which is not necessarily what you need here in this form of the game. It's high in the air, it's going down to third man. It's not going to be easy. It's been up there for a while and taken.
Karim Janat with the big heave. There for an eternity before he dived forward to come up with the catch.
Oh, that one is hit far. Hold him. That's 6.
So this is what is required now for the West Indies. 7.35 runs per over.
Well, the West Indies replied with 147 for 3 in 19.2 overs to win by 7 wickets with 4 deliveries to spare. A player of the match and also the series, Marlon Samuels, he got 89. That was the top score. Not out, that came off 66 deliveries. That was his highest international T20 score. It included 9 fours and 3 sixes. Here are the highlights from the Windies innings.
And the substitute has taken the catch.
It was a good sharp catch as well. It was chucked powerfully by Chadwick Walton, very low down.
There's Keith Arthurton, former Leeward Islands and Nevis and West Indies player. He's got that one away well. 1 bounce 4. Oh, that's dismissive.
And when he does, he hits him pretty well. That's gone for 6.
Smack down the ground. He won't bother to run for that. It's important for him to just carry on and take his team home.
That's very close and he's given him.
That's beautifully played by Lendl Simmons. That won't be cut off. That's well hit by Simmons. That will clear the boundary.
There he goes again, miscued though, and taken. That was poor from Rashid Khan. At least he should have been able to stop the ball going past him. But that's 50 for Marlon Samuels.
Something like that, but it was a bit fuller. Nobody's going to stop that though. That was hit like a rocket.
That's gone high and far. That's gone for 6. That's gone high and far. It's gone for 6. That's a good shot. Very well timed there by Jason Mohammed. Add 6 to that. Samuels now on 85 and equals his highest individual score in T20. And there it is. The West Indies cruise into victory by 7 wickets. They've won this series against Afghanistan 3-0.
Well, the psychiatric hospital have created history by winning the inaugural BCA Shield T20 competition. Psychiatric Hospital defeated the Lords in a riveting final at Kensington last evening by defending 120 runs after scoring 119 for 9 in their 20 overs. Demetrius Richards led the way with 27, Kyle Hines made 19, Jerron Murphy was to pick up the bowling, taking 3 for 29. Here's a look at the Psychiatric Hospital's innings.
Demetrius Richards gets the show on the road for Psychiatric Hospital with a thumping cover drive over the infield of Khalid Springer. He's then given a lifeline, dropped on the square leg boundary, and it goes for yet another 4. Skipper Juvail Hines entered the attack and gifted Damien Hoyt a sighter, which he easily dispatched. Hines overstepping on the ball before, resulting in a free hit, and Hoyt making sure he cashes in, going over point. But Kemar Stanford put a spoke in their wheels when he bowled Hoyt behind his legs for 12, 34 for 1. Kyle Hines replacing Hoyt, and he got straight to work pulling Joel Leacock in front for a boundary. Hines was on the attack, down on one knee and sweeping Jerron Murphy behind square for more. Then stands and delivers, cutting Murphy viciously. But playing a shorter ball was his demise as Murphy got his revenge, having Hines caught for 19, 62 for 2 now. 2 runs later, the third wicket will come as Murphy has Richards caught behind for 27. Murphy on the move once again, drops this one short, but Gregory Gaskin pounces on it, splits the field, another boundary. But that was a mere glimpse of hope as Murphy removes Gaskin, shatters his stumps for 16. More timber, Springer returning from the southern end. Jamar Willoughby bowled for 14, 105 for 5. 3 runs later, Leacock, who came back from the northern end, would do the same to Alfred Aline for 1. Dying overs now, and Psychiatric Hospital looking for quick runs, trying to turn 1s into 2s. But the fielder was good with the throw. Romario Griffith run out for 4, 115 for 7. With the very next ball, they made the same mistake. Recognized batsman Jamar Headley tries to get back on strike, but ends up sacrificing his partner, Jamal Burke. 116 for 8. And Springer would finish the innings, rearranging Christopher Gale's stumps for duck. Psychiatric Hospital finishing on 119 for 9. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
In reply, Lords were bowled out for just 115 in 20 overs. Khalid Springer top scoring with 41. Gregory Gaskin took 3 for 19 for the Psychiatric Hospital, giving them the title. In the netball, All Saints Primary were big winners today when the Pine Hill Dairy Primary School's netball competition continued in the Sonia Night Zone in Spikestown. All Saints defeated Gordon Greenwich 7-0 to assert themselves as strong contenders in that zone. Now let's take a look at that game along with some others that were contested today in the zone. First up was All Saints versus Gordon Greenwich, and All Saints in the green got strict to work from the whistle as goal attack Shakara Worrell Belgrave squeezes in the shot. She had 2 from 3 attempts. Goal shooter Halal Bradshaw then shows some elegance, stepping in gracefully to get closer for an easier shot. She had 5 from 7. Gordon Greenwich tried to get on the score sheet themselves, but pressure from All Saints caused the shot to completely miss the hoop. However, at the next end, Bradshaw made no mistakes, scoring another goal for All Saints. Well, Belgrave then does a step-in of her own to close out the game for All Saints, winning 7-0. On to the second game, where Sela Primary and the Grey took on Half Moon Fort, and this game needed only one goal to decide it, and that came from Alicia Johnson. Her one goal from 2 attempts gave Half Moon Fort the victory. The third game saw A. DaCosta Edwards and the Black Bibs take on St. Lucie Primary. A. DaCosta Edwards dominated the early tussle and got the upper hand through goal shooter Kiava Taylor. Her height was an advantage as she got the rebound to get another shot for the goal. Taylor then used her height once more, getting the overhead pass to finish off the move and double the lead. St. Lucie tried to get back into it late in the game when Akila Yearwood scored, but it was too late as A. DaCosta Edwards took the game 2-1. And coming up after the break, the semi-finalists in the BABA Premier League knockouts have been decided. And we're back. The semi-finalists have been decided in the Cooperators General Insurance BABA Premier League Knockout Tournament, and it took over 2 days over the weekend. First, the Hawks flew into the quarterfinals with a 4-point win over the Combined Schools Tridents in the lone qualifier on Saturday night. That was played at the Barbados Community College Gym, and there the Hawks defeated the Tridents 83-79. CBC's Melissa Farley has the details.
Well, this was a must-win game for either side if they are to make the quarterfinal stage, this being the only prelim contest to confirm the final 8. Both teams leveled on 20 points at the end of the first quarter, so we're into the second. Tridents, playing in the black shorts, had Kassarian Adams leading their charge as they fought off the Hawks. But Hawks had Shaquan Newton on the opposite side doing damage as well. However, with Rashid Maynard assisting Adams, Tridents held on for a 2-point lead, 39-37 at the half. The third quarter was just as tight as the previous two, both teams preventing the other from pulling too far away, keeping the gap narrow. Tremaine Shaw now helping the Hawks to push through with his 10 points. Tridents tried to keep the lead in this third session, Zachary Knowles scoring 13 points in this game. But it slipped away from them as time crept away, and it was now the Hawks taking the lead by 2, 64-62. Into the fourth and final quarter, this will be the final chance for these two teams to avoid the knockout process. Adams kept the fight up for Tridents. He had 22 points. Maynard was still there as well. He had 20 to his name. But Tridents were slightly behind as Hawks now lead by 4 points. And thanks to a game-high 29 from Newton, they held on to that lead to win 83-79. Melissa Farley, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Melissa. Hawks, however, didn't make it past the quarterfinals as they went down the very next day to the Barbados Lumber Company Lakers. Lakers easily disposed of the Hawks 74-53 after leading 36-27 at halftime. Now, for the winners, Orman Haynes, he top scored with 13, Jay Harris had 12, and Adrian Altman had 11. Javon Lashley had a game-high 19, and Shaquan Newton had 14 for the Hawks. Now, in another match, Orange 3 Pinelands brushed aside the Pan American International Insurance Warren 79-43 after being up 37-25 at halftime. Jeremy Gill had the hot hands for the Pine. He had 19 points. Darian Hurley had 16. Ian Alexander had 11. Now for the Warren's team, Ruel Rich scored 17 and Brandon Hope had 11. Now in the other two quarterfinals, Station Hill Cavaliers beat the Hilton Barbados Warriors, while the Urban Vibe St. John Sonics muscled out the Burger King Clapham Bulls by 21 points. Damien Best calls that action.
St. John Sonics in green versus Clapham Bulls. First points for Bulls. Hallie Franklin, fadeaway jumper, team high, 22 points. Cody Leacock now pushing the tempo, splits the D up and in at 18. Sonics though with the edge after the first quarter, 21-17. The big man, Charles Vanderpool, old-fashioned spin move, beauty. Then on this possession, hesitation, goes right at the rim. Vanderpool, 21 points. Second quarter, Hallie Franklin still menacing with that jump shot. But Sonics were keeping their noses in front. Akeem Marsh, tightly guarded, but makes it look so easy. Sonics leading by 6 at halftime. 40-34. Second half business now going the other way. Cody Leacock for the Bulls with the pick. Franklin, the beneficiary, 2 more. But the boys from Clapham were still finding it hard to stop the Twin Towers. Van der Poel cleans up his own miss. Then Marsh bossing the lane at a game high 32 points. Keelan Phillips with 18 and Akindale Licorice 10 points. Notable contributions for the Bulls. Licorice in the trenches gets the offensive board. But this was all about the Sonics. 4 players in double figures, including Jamar King with 11 and Romain Lovell 10. Sonics win handsomely, 85-64. Next on court, Warriors in black playing Station Hill Cavaliers. Jamai Pakrin active in the paint. The putback game high 20 points. Then Joel Hunt with the steal. And 2-on-1, the postman with a special delivery. His contribution, 12 points. Warriors down by 14 after the first quarter. A heavily bandaged Headley going solo. Team high 18. More of that needed. Cavaliers would go on to close out the first half though, up 44-26. Jason Smith, the dagger, 3 points. Second half, keep your eyes open. Joel Hunt, master stroke, corner pocket, got it. Warriors lacking on offense. Justin Powell with 2 of his 14, trying to spark a run. Then a beastly cold rejection by Headley, put some energy back into the Warriors. But the Cavs just had too much weapons at their disposal, and they would eventually go on to seal the victory, 79-56 over the Warriors. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
And still to come, host England advance to the Champions Trophy semi-finals.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Community Files.
Private candidates writing the Caribbean Examination Council's CSEC and CAPE examinations during the period June 1st to 15th are advised that those exams will now be held at the Barbados Community College. The examination timetable, dates, and times will remain the same. The Ministry of Education apologizes for any inconvenience caused by this change in venue.
Catch all the action, results and analysis on CBC Sports Night. Brought to you on Wednesday's compliments, Fast Cash. Smarter, faster, better.
Community Files.
If you have always been curious about probation, community service, or the court process, then visit the probation department during its open day. It takes place at its Robert Street St. Michael office on Friday, June 9th from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. See you there.
Well, England are the first team into the semi-finals of the ICC Champions Trophy. The home side dispatched New Zealand in match 6 today by 87 runs at Cardiff. Joe Root led the batting for England with 62, followed by Josh Butler. He had 61. Now, in reply, New Zealand lost a wicket in the very first over before Kane Williamson restored some order to the middle with an innings of 87, now, apart from a 38 from Ross Taylor. Now, no one else came to the party apart from these guys, as the Kiwis were bowled out for 223. Liam Plunkett, he snapped up 4 for 55.
Go on, first delivery, nipping back through bat and pad, and that's the ideal start for England. Beautifully carved behind square, slight bit of width from Jake Ball.
All over the top. Williamson. This could race away for 4, and it will. Oh, lovely. Little hint of width. Guptill so quick onto it. Oh, pulled very nicely from Martin Guptill, so quickly onto it. Gone, gone.
That's a 50 for the New Zealand captain. Oh, it's beaten mid-on.
In one-day cricket. And that could go all the way. It's gone over the man in the deep, but it bounces before the rope.
That's a bit too wide again. Carved behind point. And
beautifully clipped. Went with the drift. Rashid on the breeze, drifting it in.
Gone!
yeah, really good thought process.
Drags it and drags it straight to the man.
So he...
St. Lucie tried to get back into it late in the game when Akila Harewood scored, but it was too late as A. DaCosta Edwards took the game 2-1. Sean Green.
There he goes again, but Root is out there at deep square leg.
He's wrong.
Doesn't matter up here, and the combat's close. It is very tough. Oh, brilliant, down the leg side. He's going to pick up another wicket here, he does.
Down the ground, but should be taken. Yep, he is. It's gone a long way up. This should be the end of the game. It is the end of the game. That's a hammering England win, and they are the first side through to the semi-finals in this year's Champions Trophy. They win by 87 runs.
So now here's what's happening on Wednesday in sports. The ICC Champions Trophy cricket, that continues at 8:30 local time with a key game coming up in Group B between Pakistan and South Africa. That's at Birmingham. Then the battle is on in the Baiko Primary Schools football competition to see who tops Zone 5. St. George will battle Providence at Greens from 9:30 a.m. And at the same time, the primary schools netball competition will be in full swing with 4 games in the Angela Gibbs Anna Shepherd zone. Later in the evening at 3 p.m., the Cooperators General Under-16 basketball tournament continues with 3 games. Leicester Vaughan versus Frederick Smith and Ellerslie. Then at 7 p.m., the Guardian Pride of Villa will battle against Signia UWI Blackbirds B. This is in the BNA Division 1 League. Now that will be on court 2 at the netball stadium. We're out of time for tonight. That's it for our show. Thank you for joining us. Join us again tomorrow night. I'm Sean Green. Bye-bye.
You're watching CBC TV 8 in beautiful Barbados.